We all want to be loved with an eternal, unconditioned love that transcends beauty, reason, and any other superficial quality. We want to be loved simply because of who we are. And at the same time, we have an inherent, natural desire to share our love with others. This predisposition to love erases because, in reality, we have an eternal nature. We are loving beings whose souls are filled with knowledge and bliss. While in this physical shell, we are temporarily covered by material energy. By our original nature, we are divine. We are always seeking the blissful love that can only be found in the spiritual realm. But something is not going our way. Despite our constant search, we usually get frustrated and find that our sense of love is by nature temporary. Although we have tried and failed many times to develop relationships with others, we continue to believe that our true chosen one, our twin flame, is waiting for us somewhere. It's just that, for some mystical reason, we keep finding ourselves in the wrong place or choosing the wrong time. Many people in this world have not felt truly loved. They have no idea what true love is, despite their desire for it. In fact, in everyday relationships, the term love has become very blurred, has acquired a very wide range of meanings, and therefore can sometimes indicate something completely different from the original meaning of the word. For example, the idea of imagining love is often relegated to the level of bodily contact or trying to get satisfaction from someone, even if this requires the use of force. But this is not love. The problem arises because we seek answers in the wrong places. We have forgotten the spiritual dimensions of life. A society that is not grounded in spirituality in its life lacks the special glue that will allow everything to work properly. Love is that special glue that binds us all together and enables us to connect and know each other, and ultimately with God. Even though love shuns us, deep down we feel that we have an inalienable right to it. It's as if we are being teased with something delicious without being given the opportunity to reach up and eat it. Frustrated, we try to substitute love with something else, hoping to find happiness in wealth, prestige, or power. Let us finally examine why this happens to us by first finding out what love is not. On the contrary, true love involves special forms of exchange between lovers. When we think only of ourselves and try to arrange things the way we want, we cannot express love. Pure love is never based on an attempt to gain something, but is instead linked to giving. We enjoy it if each party strives to give even more to the other. This point is particularly relevant in a society in which love and sex are often equated, put on the same level. Sex provides one with the opportunity to find the greatest pleasure, so we try to engage in it as often as possible. But love has nothing to do with the amount of sexual pleasure we can get from contact with another person. Love is more than just sex. People often say, "Let's make love," but what they really mean is, "Let's have sex." If we believe that sex is love, then even incest becomes acceptable, because a father who loves his daughter can freely exercise his right to appreciate her sexuality. It is not a business relationship or an accounting system that involves a balanced relationship between one person and another. Love is an expression of genuine, sincere concern for the welfare of another. This is quite difficult to understand in our devious society, where everyone assumes that their interlocutor has some ulterior motives for action. We often build relationships according to a certain scheme reminiscent of business contacts. You satisfy me, and I will satisfy you. Unfortunately, as soon as difficulties arise in this relationship, we establish another one. We start looking for a new partner. Ultimately, true love has nothing to do with what the other says or does. It depends on us, not on the other person. It is an expression of what we are, what we have, and what we can share. When we love someone, we want to do something for that person. If we truly care about our husband, wife, children, or friends, then we will welcome any opportunity to serve them. Once we have done that service, we will enjoy it even more, because we will be happy in the knowledge that we were able to be of service. Whenever problems arise, we should strive to do something for our beloved ones, to show them our care and affection without expecting anything in return. Most of us think that love is a feeling that arises and develops in certain circumstances. But true love is not related to what we feel, nor does it depend on any external circumstances. True love is divine. It cannot exist apart from its source, God. Love is not something that can be turned on and off like an electric light bulb. In our society, we often don't realize this. A man and woman can take the vows of married life and then, after a few months or years, change their mindset. In this state of mind, we will look for someone else instead of discovering the source of love within ourselves. Although we may be confused by the actions of another person, true love remains strong because it is based on something more than sentiment. When love is sentimental, any difficulty can turn the object of our love into an enemy. Many people have difficulty trying to establish a serious relationship with their twin flame. Once the first emotional impression passes, the person suddenly discovers that the relationship was more of a reaction to events than a really true feeling. A person who seeks creative action is based on principles other than selfish and has a thoughtful, philosophical outlook on life. Whereas people who react to events view everything in terms of personal pleasure. For them, love is a feeling that enhances their sense of well-being. And if they don't get what they want, they get rid of the so-called love. On the other hand, when we really love, we forget about ourselves. To love is a verb. We emphasize our attitude. We appreciate. We share. We help. We give. We don't try to enjoy ourselves, and we don't seek power to dominate someone who might allow us to do so. Since love is not defined by pleasant feelings alone, pain can also be an integral part of it. While most of us prefer to experience happiness and avoid pain in our relationships, this sentiment is based on the desire to satisfy our feelings. True love can bring us supreme happiness, and at the same time, it can cause us terrible suffering. If we analyze our lives more carefully, we will notice that the most intense suffering is almost always the result of relationships with the people we love. Perhaps we have tried to give something, but have not received what we wanted in return. Or perhaps we have dreamed of finding a loving relationship, but somehow we have failed. who doesn't remember the deepest pain of betrayal, the disappointment, the feeling of rejection. At the same time, the greatest happiness we can find in this life is also related to relationships with other people. This paradox is what is called love. It is both the only healing force and the most destructive, causing the greatest pain. In a twin flame relationship, it is important to experience difficulties from time to time. This reinforces the need to deepen the relationship. If everything happens according to our desires, we feel very good. But as soon as events deviate from our plan, we can become reluctant to connect with our Gemini flame. By doubting the relationship, we turn away from the person. These doubts can arise because we lack confidence or because we feel insecure. Hiding from the fact that the problem is lurking in our own minds, we often transfer our fears and phobias to our partner and our surroundings. Then, even if someone compliments us, we think suspiciously, "What do you mean?" Some people remain in this negative mood no matter what happens to them. As spiritual beings, we should radiate love that is not conditioned by anything. In this state, nothing bad can affect us. Moreover, we will be grateful for criticism, seeing it as glorification, and will be able to properly listen to evil words while continuing to love. This may seem naive at first, but in fact, this behavior reflects a strong belief in the divine origin, and our task is to share our faith and love with others. We all have the ability to become established in our love because everything around us exists only to help us love even more.